In this YouTube video, I'm going to make this resume template that can be used for an accounting job application. It's a simple yet professional setup that encourages hiring managers to read through. Now, if you prefer to save some time and want to download some fancy matching resume and cover letter templates, then I would advise you to click on the link in the description for more information. Now, without further ado, let's start making the resume. First off, I want to start with the margins. Go to the Layout tab, Margins, and pick the normal or narrow margin settings. Okay, next up we go to the Insert tab, Shapes, and pick a rectangular shape. Cover the header area and make it a line. Now once that's done, we select the shape and click on the Shape Fill drop-down menu and choose a suitable color. Now we don't want any shape outline. Then we need to draw a text box. Select No Outline and remove the shape filler. Alright, let's enter the name and surname. Go to the Home tab to center it and increase the font size by clicking on this A icon. A 24-point font size is fine by me. Now let's zoom in a bit and enter some personal information. So the city and state, email address, phone number, and LinkedIn URL. It's important to include a physical address to inform the reader if you live close by, and in some cases if they need to fly you in or not. Let's remove the hyperlink and highlight the name and surname to make it stand out. To unlock the cursor from the header area, we have to press the spacebar once and then hit the enter button. Alright, so now we have to divide the resume into sections. Let's add a couple, including education, skills, experience, and interests in caps lock. Now press enter twice after each keyword and bold highlight education. Next up, we need to adjust the line spacing options and adjust the spacing settings to 12 points before and 12 points after, and press OK. Then we need to add some borders. Click on this little arrow icon and add a top and down border. Now to make each section stand out a bit more, I would suggest increasing the font size. Now I would like to stay in between the 13 and 16 point font size. Now we can copy the formatting to our other sections. Make sure to put the cursor in the middle of the keyword. Then click on the Format Banner icon and select the other sections. Make sure to disable the formatting option. So right now we can start adding the educational background. So for example, the university name and the degree. Make it stand out a bit more using bold and italics. After that, we include the city, state, and time spent in college. Now to align these to the right, we need the ruler. If you don't see this option, you need to go to the View tab and enable Ruler. Okay, let me show you what this option does. So if you place the cursor right here, click somewhere in the ruler to place a left stop tab and press tab. Now I want to align it to the very end, so I simply drag it accordingly. After that we need to add some subcategories and list information on relevant coursework, extracurricular activities, Dean's List, honors, or GPA. Okay, that brings us to the Skills section. Go to the Insert tab, click on the Table drop-down menu, and pick a 3x1 table. Now as you can see, the margins are not perfect, but you can easily solve this by going to the table layout, cell margins, and change the left and right windows to 0. There you go. Now before you include keywords, research shows that applicants only included 51% of the relevant keywords in their resume. Now in order to know what kind of keywords you should be looking at, I would advise you to copy the job description. Go to the free word cloud generator, paste it right in there, and click on Generate Cloud. Now match these keywords with your qualifications and categorize them in this table, like I'm doing right now. Now once you've filled all the cells, I like to align them. And after that, remove the borders. In order to do so, select the whole table, click the table drop-down, and select No Borders. Now that brings us to the Experience section, also referred to as the Working or Professional Experience section. Okay, so let's say you have some experience as an accounting assistant at a startup. Now let me fast forward a bit. Now I structured the sentences according to the PAR method, so that it reveals the problem, action and results of my experiences. And that way you bring impact and purpose to your resume. The same goes for using action verbs at the beginning of each sentence, like checked, analyzed and managed. Also, do you notice how I quantified my experiences? Now, measurable metrics illustrate someone's value and improves your chances of getting that interview. Research shows that 36% out of around 125,000 resumes had 0 instances of metrics. Okay, let me copy and paste the whole paragraph and move on to the interest section. Now, although this section is not a requirement, I would advise you to include it in your resume, because it takes just a couple of words to show the human side behind the resume. Now, that doesn't mean you should add some fluffy buzzwords and cliches like 51% of the resumes include, but try to grab the reader's attention. For example, I like traveling, and I try to visit a new country each year. So I also inform the reader about my 2021 travel ambition. Now I also like football, in the USA referred to as soccer, and my favorite football club is AFC Ajax, and my favorite player is Frankie de Jong. Another interest of mine is watching Netflix, but also enter something along the lines of binged watched Ozark and Breaking Bad, or great fan of Marty Byrde in the series Ozark. Okay, perhaps skip that last sentence because he was a financial advisor of a big money laundering operation. Anyway, I hope you get the idea. Now, if you still have space and some satisfied ex-employers, then consider adding a references section in your resume. But try to keep your resume short, concise and to the point. Recent data shows that the ideal resume length is 475 to 600 words. Now, a stunning 77% of resumes were outside of that range. Lastly, I also want to emphasize the importance of properly sending your resume. Now, if there are no employer's instructions on how to submit the resume, then the common rule of thumb is to email your document in a PDF format or Word document attached to the email. Also, make sure to save your file accordingly. So name, surname, resume. Now, that way the employer will know that it is yours without even opening the document. Now, all these little things prove your attention to detail and can make the difference between getting hired or not. Okay, so before I end this video, I would like to know if you watched the whole video. And I'm even more curious if you actually got hired. Leave an emoji with glasses if you watched the video till the end. And leave an emoji with sunglasses if you got the job. I want to thank you for watching, and if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll respond as soon as possible. If this video was helpful, then a like and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Thanks again for watching and see you next time. Bye!